Hello friends, welcome to a 48-hour readathon. So it is Saturday morning and this weekend is Peace Talks for Realmathon, which is essentially just a 48-hour readathon where every book that you read counts like extra, maybe double, I'm not sure. But it counts extra towards your Realms points. So what is Realmathon? It is a month-long readathon hosted by Covers with Cassidy, and I'll link this down below, but there's 4 different realms who are fighting to basically conquer this area. And so 4 realms, each of them is a different genre. And I have chosen Team Enya, which is all fantasy reads. And so keeping with that, obviously this weekend, we are going to be reading so much fantasy. Basically as much as I can without going crazy. Technically, this readathon started last night, but I was basically like not mentally in the place at all where I basically had zero energy whatsoever to actually film anything or film an intro, get started on this. So we are technically starting today. It's Saturday morning right now, and we're just going to keep going until Sunday night. So what am I planning on reading? A lot. I have a few physical books, but for the most part, I'm going to be reading a lot of fantasy romance off of Kindle Unlimited, a lot of library books. Basically, I just want to read as many quick reads as possible because it does count extra towards my realm when you read it during this weekend. So I want to power through as many books as possible. To get started with some of the plans. First off, I have Winds of Fate by Mercedes Lackey. I don't know much about this one, but this was on my monthly TBR. It's like a classic fantasy, very classic fantasy within her Valdemar world, and I don't know too much else about it. I read like 40 pages last night and I wasn't super into it, so I think this is going to be one that I'm just like reading a few pages here and there between other reads because I want to get through it. Then, another book off of my physical TBR, Deadlands by Stacey Marie Brown. This is book 3 within the Savage Lands series. It's this like fantasy romance series where like 20 years before this veil had come down between worlds, and now Fae are living within the human world and just causing a lot of destruction. I'm really, really enjoying it. The first 2 books were incredibly good, and I'm really excited to keep going on the series. And I've been like really wanting to get to this one for quite some time now. Then The Possibilities. So those 2 I'm definitely going to read because I just want to get some more off of my shelf, but there is a huge list of others that I would say are potentials. I'm really going to try and like mood read as much as possible this weekend because I think that that's the best way to keep this being very productive for me and to keep this like reading energy going is just whatever I'm feeling at the moment. So the other possibilities I have, I'm probably going to be listening to The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden in between like reading and like while I'm doing tasks around the house because I don't, you know. So this is book 2 and then is it Nevernight? I don't think it's Nevernight. I think it's like Winter's Night trilogy. The first book is The Baron and the Nightingale, which I just finished earlier this week, gave it a 5 stars. It was amazing. So book 2 I'm really enjoying. I'm 16% into the audio right now and I don't know if I'll finish it this weekend, but I am going to just keep going with it. And I also have A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross, which is the sequel to A River Enchanted. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the first book. It was this like nice, very light fantasy on this magical island where young girls are being kidnapped and a bard comes home after having been away for several years to help solve the mystery. Then there's possibly The Good, the Bad, and the Undead by Kim Harrison. This is book 2 in the Hollows series, an urban fantasy series where we're following a witch who's a private investigator. And yeah, the first book was okay. I didn't love it necessarily, but I'm really hoping that this series continues to get better. There's like 16 books in it, so if I like it. And now we're going to get into the Kindle Unlimited books that are on the list, which again, so many possibilities. And again, who knows what I'm going to go for. So Famine by Laura Thalassi, book 3 in the like 4 Horsemen series where we're following like different horsemen who come down to earth and just cause chaos and are like killing off people. So I've really enjoyed book 1. Book 2 was okay, but I do want to keep going on this series. There is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This one is a sequel to The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and the sequel just came out 2 days ago. So I gave book 1 a 5-star. I was really obsessed with it, which doesn't seem to happen super often lately with fantasy romance. So I'm really excited to get to this one, and I think it could be a really great read that, especially if I love it, that will just keep me going. And some other possibilities could be What Hunts Inside the Shadow, which is book 2 of What Lies Beyond the Veil. It was okay. First book was okay, but I am excited to keep going. The ending was interesting enough that I do want to keep going in the series. And I also have A Dawn of Onyx, which I've been hearing a lot of really good things about, so another one that I'm really interested to get to. So that is like my very vague TBR. A lot of options. I don't know if I will stick to this. I'm going to, again, keep it very mood reading, very much what I'm feeling at the moment, so that I just keep going forward and that I just keep having this motivation to keep reading. I think I'm going to start with Deadlands because I am incredibly excited to get to this one, and I think this is a very good way to kick this off. So I will check in with you guys in a bit. Hello, I am being a terrible vlogger and have not checked in like so many hours, but I not only got 1, but 2 books done. But I finished books 3 and 4 in the Savage Land series by Stacey Marie Brown. This is a kind of urban fantasy fae romance with like really addicted to this series. Is it great? Not really. The writing's probably not very good if I really think about it, and the world building probably not great either if I actually spent some time to think about it, but I am ridiculously addicted to this series, and yeah, like every book has been a 4 or 5 stars in it for me because I just like cannot get enough. Yeah, so I just like powered through those today, and book 4 ended on a crazy cliffhanger, so you know I need to go order book 5 right away and keep going in this because I need to see how things get resolved in the next one because I am so addicted. Then this afternoon I also took like a 3-hour nap. So if we're being honest, that's where most of the time I wasted today came from because it's after dinner right now. And then I've read probably about a quarter of Winds of Fate by Mercedes Lackey. Don't know if I could describe at all what this one's actually about because I don't know how much attention I'm really paying, if we're being honest. I'm not into it at all. I'm going to try and make myself finish the first book just to see if anything changes if I do get into it. But I have a very strong feeling I'm not going to be continuing with the series. I have it's a trilogy and I have all 3 books, but I bought them for like $1 each at a charity store, so it's not really that big a deal if I don't enjoy it. But yeah, I'm going to slowly keep reading this one, probably just like a chapter here and there, and hopefully finish it by tomorrow. So now that I have those 2 done, I think I'm going to start diving into the Kindle Unlimited books that I have planned I wanted to read. So I'm going to try a few of them, probably give a few chapters a try for several of the books and see where I want to keep going with next. I have no idea what I'm in the mood for. So we'll see. Basically whatever just like catches my attention next. So I've decided to go with What Hunts Inside the Shadows by Harper L. Woods. This is the sequel to What Lies Beyond the Veil that I read, which I read last month, I think. So this is another fantasy romance where we're in this world where there had been this veil that separated the human world from the fae world. And this one woman was about to be sacrificed, but during this sacrifice, so she was about to be sacrificed because her town periodically did this to strengthen the veil. So as she was about to be killed, something in her magic reacted with the veil and brought it down. And as soon as it came down, she started to get these fae marks on her, which are a sign that she is the mate of a fae. So I'm doing a terrible job with this. So because of these fae marks, she was being hunted by humans who wanted to kill her because if she mated with her fae, who she's destined to, their power would be amplified, versus also the fae were trying to hunt her to bring her to her mate. So the first book was very predictable, very basic. I 100% knew what was happening. I knew all of the twists that were going to happen. Every single part of it was predictable, but I still really enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it quite a bit. And it left off on an ending that, even though I 100% knew what was going to happen, I still liked it. And it was enough to push me forward to the next book. So I'm decided I'm going to do that one right now. I'm not expecting anything revolutionary, but I am hoping that it goes into some like a bit more of an interesting place than maybe the first one did. Because even though the first one was very basic, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible at all. It was just very predictable. So I'm hoping that the books forward just start to do something a little bit more interesting. Here I am. Hello, hello. Okay, so I'm done. Oh, that's crazy. So I just finished What Hunts Inside the Shadows. Is that what it's called? Yes, it is. And not super into it. It was okay. It was fine. Wasn't great. Again, I think I had the exact same problems I did in book one, where it was just like, it was okay. It wasn't anything that interesting. It wasn't spectacular. Wasn't anything other than predictable. And then like, I don't know, it really did not do too much for me. I don't think it was that great. And ended on a cliffhanger, of course, as they always do. And like that might just be enough for me to want to go to the next book. And I'm really debating right now if I actually want to continue in this series. Probably not. I think I need to say no and not continue on in the series, because I know I'm not really enjoying it. But just like when every single book ends on a cliffhanger, that's just like enough for you to be like, I wonder what happens next. Like, that's how they get you. But yeah, it was fine. Wasn't great. Yeah, I really have nothing at all to say about it, because I don't feel like anything that interesting happened or anything worth commenting on. So I think that in itself is a sign that it's not that great of a series, but there we go. So like I said, it's 9. I'm feeling very tired. So I think I'm going to take a little break and just like have a snack, maybe take off my makeup, watch YouTube for a little bit, and then hopefully get a second wind before continuing on something else to read. Hello, good morning. So it is, what day is it? Sunday? Yeah, it's Sunday morning. I am just getting ready right now. Yeah, I didn't update you guys, but I actually finished 2 more books last night. And both of them were incredibly short, but I am pretty happy about that. So, primer, I just used the e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams. It's their putty primer, just like a special edition scent. So I really like that one. I love their putty primer. I think it's like one of the best that I've ever used. Also, I think this lighting's like a little bit better than any of the other Get Ready's with me I've done. Foundation, going with the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. This is my favorite right now. So last night I read a novella and a graphic novel, and they were both very successful. I was just like way too tired to actually talk about it, but yeah. So I read Emergency Skin by N.K. Jemisin. It was only about 40 pages, and it feels kind of ridiculous to say that something that was only 40 pages was a 5-star read for me, but it was, yeah, like so ridiculously good. Tarte Concealer, I don't know the name of this one, but here we go. Yeah, I like honestly can't believe how much I loved it, and I don't really want to talk too much about the plot of the book, but it's basically just like a post-apocalyptic novel about this group of people who had left Earth during presumably the apocalypse and then came back afterwards. And I really don't want to say anything else about it because it's so short that I feel like anything at all you talk about would be a spoiler. But yeah, like I can't believe it was a 5-star read. I honestly am shocked that something that short was so good, and I feel like that one's gonna have like a bit of a lasting impression on me compared to like a lot of other apocalyptic books, and once again just proving that like N.K. Jemisin can do anything. So bronzer, as always, I'm using my Jones Road bronzer in light tan, and the pan. Yeah, I got this one in PR, and it's been honestly all that I've used for like the past few months because I find the shade so perfect. Yeah, just a little bit more. I'm very liberal with bronzer when it's like a shade that's this light because I find like it really can't do anything wrong. Just gonna do my eyebrows and then pop back. So after getting that one done, I just kind of wanted to keep on this train of like short books, just getting through them because, you know, it was feeling really good. So then I went to, I decided to pick up a graphic novel too, which, by the way, I'm using the MAC So Natural Glow Play Blush, which is a very pretty nude shade. Yeah, so I picked up Lore Olympus Volume 3. And this is just a graphic novel based on like Hades and Persephone, their relationship, and it's really good. It's kind of dark, a lot of content warnings to go into it before picking it up for sure, but I really do enjoy this series. Highlight Ray Rider from Kaleidos. Yeah, like I think it's a really good like Hades and Persephone retelling, and honestly I'd say it's probably one of my favorite that I've ever read because I find they can get very shitty if depending on how liberal the authors tend to get about the story. So yeah, I really enjoy that one. I gave that a 4-star, and I feel like I've given basically everything in that series like a 4-star, or every installation that I've read, because I don't know, I find them really good. They're like usually very quick reads because obviously it's a graphic novel, very quick. But yeah, it's one of my favorite graphic novels that I've read, that, or at least like graphic novel series. So that one is done. Kind of feel like being boring and going for kind of like a neutral eye look today, and then maybe like a really bold lip. I have like a lot of bright pink lipsticks, and I think I'm like kind of feeling that vibe today. So let's go look at the eyeshadow drawer. This is always fun. So let's look at the small palettes. Man, I like honestly have no idea what I want to use. I have this problem of like I have so many palettes, but like no neutral ones, which is not a problem I ever thought I'd have in my life. Let's check another drawer. You know, I'm gonna go ColourPop. And this is the So Very Lovely palette. Yeah, that's neutral enough. So not really brown tones, but very light neutrally colors. So I think this is definitely the vibe for today. I'll pop back in once my eye look is done because like I feel that's the one thing that I'm like so awkward about filming, because I really need to get like super close to my camera here. And yeah, so I will pop back in once I'm done with my eyes. Well, hello, I'm back and my eyes are done. I'll show it in better lighting later. Yeah, as I was saying, I want to do a really bright pink lip. Something about like something about spring just always like really inspires me to do like these crazy bright pink. So this is Fuchsia Fusion by Revlon. Yeah, this is so much fun. Yeah, I love that. That's like perfectly matching the mood that I'm in today. Also for perfume, I decided to go with Clean Reserve Radiant Nectar. I just had like this little sample of it. I really like it. It's my first time trying it out today, and like it's pretty nice. There's hopefully a bit of a better look of the makeup. I really do need to start getting better at like circling through my eyeshadow palette collection, because I can't remember the last time that I used that one, and I actually, even though it's like very neutral, I like the way it looked today. It's just like a very soft makeup looks, which I don't know, and the vibe for today, I guess. And then I ended up actually starting another book last night, which is Famine by Laura Flassie. So this is book 3 in the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse series. So far, this is definitely like my least favorite book. I got 20% into it and I'm just like really not feeling this one at all. So obviously at this point, pestilence and war have come to Earth. They've brought their destruction and then decided to stop being a horseman for their love of somebody. And now we're just following Famine as he's on his reign of terror. And I don't know, I'm really not feeling this one at all. So we're following a woman who, she basically, after Famine came into her town, she is a sex worker, and her madame brought her as an offering to Famine to hopefully keep him happy, of like, oh, here's this woman you can have, whatever. And then he took offense at this. He took offense at this and brought them out to this like giant pit set of just bodies of everybody who'd been trying to bring him offerings. And this woman got stabbed like 11 times, but somehow still managed to live. And from there decided to go on a like revenge path against famine. But he very quickly captured her and now is just taking her along as a prisoner because why not? And yeah, I'm not feeling this one that much. I didn't love war, and I feel like this might even be below that. Like, it feels almost like every installation in the series is just getting like progressively lower for me, unfortunately. So I don't know if I'll finish that one today, but I did start it. Well, hello, I am here and I am signing off on this vlog. So basically, since I last checked in, I've done very little reading and very little to actually update on. I read about another 100 pages or so of Famine, and yeah, same thoughts. I'm not feeling it. It's definitely by far like my least favorite of the series, and as I was saying, like each book is just progressively getting worse, and yeah, I'm not really enjoying that, but I'm still feeling pretty hopeful that maybe it will turn around at some point. I'm definitely not going to be finishing it tonight because I am really just not in the mood to be reading anymore. I think I read like way too much this weekend, but yeah, that is pretty much like the only update I have. That's pretty much all. Yeah, I like otherwise just cleaned today, did a Costco run, and yeah, I think I was pretty burnt out from everything yesterday. So yeah, overall though, very productive weekend. Got a lot read. I'm feeling very good about that, very good about what I'm adding to my team's points, you know. Overall, like a lot was read, so that is always a huge bonus, and yeah, I'm feeling very, very good about that. But yeah, so this is the end of this 48-hour readathon. If you haven't already, please subscribe. There'll be lots of more fun videos coming soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one.